All right. Well, I just want to say something because a lot of the time people comment and they're like, how can we ask questions? Um, if you email me, it's unlikely I will put it in YouTube. I might. And all right. So the reason for that is because I just get too many emails and then I just I just get stressed out if there's a load of stuff in my inbox. So I usually read it and then I might think, oh, I'll do that as a question, and then I'll delete it, and then I'll forget what the question was. So that's that's the honest answer, is because I need a fucking secretary. That's why. Um, if you comment, or I do sometimes look at the comments on YouTube, and I look at comments like when I've got 5 minutes to make a video, I might think, oh, I don't know what to talk about, and I'll look at the comments to give me an idea of what to talk about. So I think that the best way is to comment on a YouTube video, and then I might answer it, but I can't promise that I can. So that's the thing with anything like this, is that I just do this in my spare time when I've got any 5 minutes. And so I will always try and get to questions, but I can't promise that. So this definitely can't be used as like an emergency anything, you know? Like this is not, this can't be used. YouTube cannot be used as emergency mental health crisis times. That's just not appropriate in any way. But it's fucking annoying because a lot of the time, well, what else are you going to do? I know you're sort of like, always people are saying like, well, of course, like a YouTube channel couldn't be used for an emergency mental health crisis. But then a lot of the time, there's not a lot of other resources that get it for people. And so I really understand why people would sort of actually use a YouTube channel as when they're having a bit of a meltdown to try and get some answers. Because what are you going to do? Phone the GP? And they don't know anything about eating disorders. It's just, I know it's really difficult, and that's part of the reason the big part of the reason is just not enough resources out there, just not enough properly educated resources. And when I say properly educated, I mean educated by experience. I don't mean educated by some textbook written by some old white dude that had never had an eating disorder himself and had just watched people with eating disorders and come to his conclusions about them. That's not what I'm talking about when I talk about education, not effective education anyway, when it comes to eating disorder recovery. Anyway, that was a bit of a tangent. I forgot what I came on here to talk about. Oh, fitness trackers. You know what? Because I'm really old, they weren't really around that much when I had an eating disorder. And thank fuck for that. They probably were around, but I think they were probably a bit expensive. And I was really tight, as most of you know. Couldn't even buy toilet rolls. There's no way in hell I was going to buy myself a fitness tracker, was there now? But if I had, probably might have killed me. So bloody good that I didn't. And when I say it probably might have killed me, I'm sort of joking, but I'm sort of not. Like, it's something that actually, because my brain logged everything, logged all of my runs, knew what I did last week on a Tuesday at 10 o'clock, knew what I ate last Monday, my brain logged everything. That was bad enough. But if I'd had something else logging it as well, that competitive side of me, competitive with myself, nobody else, would have just been all over it. And it would have totally been like this sort of thing, like, well, I have to beat yesterday's whatever it was that I was doing, steps or runs or minutes of my heart rate being above X, Y, and Z. I think it would have been just really awful for me because I had such a bad exercise compulsion. So anyway, fitness trackers. Then I was thinking about, well, who are they good for then? I just don't know. I don't know. I struggle to think of how something like that can be beneficial to health for somebody other than making them super anxious about something. Because surely when we say, if somebody is working out, say if somebody without an eating disorder wants to increase their fitness, absolutely fine, good idea. Then say if they are working out, surely they should be getting that feedback from their body as to when they're tired. I just don't get it. Like, if you've got a gadget on you that's saying, no, you haven't done very much, and your body's saying, I'm exhausted. Like, shouldn't you? I just don't get it. Maybe that's not how they work. I've actually never had one, thank God. But, or I think that the most common one that people talk about is the steps thing. I just can't, I can see why, I mean, maybe some people just don't sort of understand when they've done no movement at all or anything like that. I can see one that could come in handy. But is it really actually going to make somebody who doesn't want to do any movement, is it actually going to make them start doing it if they have a thing on their wrist telling them to take some steps? Is that effective? I don't know, because I think that most of the time the people that pick up that sort of gadget or that sort of device are people who are already exercising. A lot of the time they are people who have a slightly compulsive nature to their exercise or a competitive nature to their exercise, and that's what I think, that's who I think pick these things up. I don't think it's your sort of software engineer that sits at a desk all day. I don't know if he's picking this up and it's making any difference to his life and making him go on for a little 5-minute walk that he wouldn't have gone on before. Maybe it is. I don't know that it is. I just think the people that are really using fitness trackers are the people that just don't need to. And all it does is it doesn't add to their physical health. It just adds to their mental stress. So I just don't think they're good for anyone. And then I get really stressed out about things like the Apple Watch, which I have one, because Matt makes me have one because I ride horses on my own, and he's got me one of these ones that if I fall off, it'll call the ambulance, which between you and I have disabled that, because the problem was it's like got a fall detector thing on it. I'm whispering in case Matt hears. It's got a fall detector thing on it, and the fall detector was just going off like all the time. I'd be walking along and the fall detector would go off and ask me if I need the ambulance called. I'd be like, crap, no, calling the ambulance is expensive in America. And so I disabled it. But I wear the watch still because he thinks that I haven't disabled it and it makes him happy. Anyway, so that's why I've got an Apple Watch. I actually don't like it for anything else. I don't. It annoys me getting text messages on my watch. Anyway, but it's got this app on it, which is, I don't know, the heart tracker or something like that. I've turned it off, but I can't just delete it. It's like, the watch is like, no, you can't delete it. Like, Apple have decided that I need this on my watch and I can't just delete it. It's the same on the phone, isn't it? It's got some, I don't know, because I never actually looked into it, some like app that's standard with the phone that you just can't delete. It's just like, what the fuck? Who the fuck are you to tell me that I need this app on my phone? I think I'm going to stop buying iPhones. Anyway, doesn't that piss you off? It pisses me off. So, I just feel like you've got to be a bit of a rebel, haven't you? And say, oi, Apple, no, I'm not doing it. And you can't delete the app, but you can turn it off. And I guess all this video is trying to say is, if you're one of those people that has an eating disorder and uses a fitness tracker still, stop it. Stop it. And I know the excuses. You don't even need to tell me your excuses. I already know them. I've heard them all 1,000,000 times, and I don't even need to have heard them, because they're the same excuses that I would have made when I was you, when I had an eating disorder, and if fitness trackers had been around, or if I'd had one. I know. I'm not buying any of them. It needs to stop. Stop bullshitting yourself and trying to bullshit anybody else that this is helping you or helpful in any way. All it is doing is enable you to have another thing for your eating disorder to focus on, isn't it? So if you have a fitness tracker, what I want you to do is right now, I want you to take it off your wrist. I want you to chuck it out the window. I mean it, all right? You'll be a happier person, promise. Much more chance of recovery. All right, gotta go. Bye.